Well, welcome back to another live stream from around Mijas. We had a council meeting today. It was, in some ways, a fairly uneventful thing, but I'm very glad to be joined by my colleague Mario Bravo. Welcome, Mario.
Hello, Bill. How are you?
I am well. I always come out of council meetings feeling a bit grumpy, Mario.
I know mainly this time because the meeting was supposed to be a Wednesday, and this month it has been the Thursday, so a few hours before our program.
Yeah, but we also thought it was going to be on the Friday, didn't we? And then it was.
Yes,
Then it was
well,
Thursday.
it has been changing during the week, and finally it was this morning.
Yeah, and of course, because you actually have a day job as well, Mario.
Yes.
And all of these changes, it's not on a Wednesday. It wasn't going to be Friday. Now it's going to be Thursday. You actually had a meeting this morning that you couldn't cancel, didn't you? So you missed it.
I know, but I have followed the meeting and I prepared that with the team yesterday. So I am able to explain a lot of things that have been discussed and approved this morning.
Yeah, I'm going to start off with a kind of contentious one, though, Mario, and you're very aware of this. You weren't there to hear it this morning, but you've heard it before and you've read it. We did ask at the end of the council meeting to explain. There's something called questions and petitions. So
That's right.
we one of our colleagues asked about the situation of services in the urbanisations and the council providing equal services in the urbanisations to what they do in the urban nucleuses, which is Las Lagunas, Mijas Pueblo, and La Cala de Mijas. It's a very thorny issue, Mario, isn't it?
Well, I think it is very clear. And let me explain that. The mayor, Josele, is always adding a word, which I think it is a mistake. He keeps saying urbanizations private, privadas. And that is not the case. I mean, everybody would understand that if you have an area that only you can use, it is obvious that only you should pay for it.
Yeah,
For
sure.
example, Bill, if you have a path that goes where you park your car inside your own plot, that path has to be asphalted, cleaned, swept by you because it is your path and only you go there, well, you and your friends.
I would be very happy, Mario, though, if the council would come in and trim my finger for me.
Fine, but all the other streets in urbanizations are public. And if they are public, they should be paid with public money.
Yeah.
This is not something new. This has been defended by all councillors. Always, well, it has been always defended with a big strength when they were in the opposition, and not so strong when they were in government. And I have to assume my share. However, when the Popular Party reached the government in 2011, after 32 years, we started to render those services to the urbanizations. And then in 2015, that all of a sudden stopped. And most of those services were rendered with these people that we employ in the Renta Básica basic income program. So it was a good way because by doing that, we will not affect the services rendered in the other places, and we would give this kind of job opportunities. Unfortunately, that is not happening.
Right. But the mayor has now made it very clear on several occasions that when people buy properties in urbanizations, they should be aware that they cannot expect the same types of services as we have in the urban nucleuses. But they don't pay less EB, do they?
It is worse. They pay much more. It is between the double and the triple what you pay for the same square meters inside Las Lagunas, La Cala, or Mijas Pueblo.
Right.
And what the mayor said is not unfair. I don't want to say it is a lie, but I need to say it is very unfair because the public installations have to be paid with public money. So
Right.
when an urbanization is built, obviously all the maintenance has to be paid by the builder. But once the builder finishes, he has to give everything back to the town hall, which is
Right.
the trick. The town hall says it is not finished, and as the builder, the developer has already sold the plots, got the money, and ran away, he doesn't care. So
Right.
the developer doesn't want to sign the documents giving the plots back to the town hall, and the town hall is not in a real hurry to accept all that, because from that very moment they will have to start paying for it.
Right.
As I said before, from 2011, the town hall started to pay the electricity of all the public lighting, because if they are public lighting, they should be paid with public money. And in
Sure.
2015, the town hall took over the contract. So there are no difference now between a street light in a street in a far urbanization, nor the street light in front of the town hall. The
Right.
same happened with the garbage skips, but the cleaning of the streets have to be enforced, and this is what the town hall is now refusing. Let me
Yeah.
add something. The town hall that has a lot of services without a contract, it hasn't got a contract right now for the cleaning of the streets.
Right.
And they have put now that up to tender for 10 years, including the garbage collection, in total 100 million euros. This is going to be the biggest contract ever done by the town hall. And
Right.
unfortunately, not a single word has been discussed with the 9 councillors of the Popular Party that, don't forget, won the elections in 2019 and also in
Mm.
2015, and are the majority group of the town hall. So they
Right.
are doing this at the back of the party most voted in the latest 3 elections.
Yeah. Okay, Mario. For people who may not know this, that there is a pile of stuff that comes to us before each council meeting. They came a little bit earlier this month. We weren't still opening them at 8 o'clock this morning, but I think I must have downloaded, I don't know, 90, 100 documents probably. It took me ages. And there are two words that keep appearing, and I want you to explain these, Mario. One is extrajudicial, and the other one is reparo. And these are very often the words that start off the
All
file
those
that we're
papers.
downloading,
Yes.
nearly all of them. So, first of all, the extrajudicial, can you explain what that means and what the implications are, Mario?
Yes, but let me start saying the town hall handles about 100 millions per year. 45 of that goes to the employees and the social security. Some money, the rest goes to the electricity, to the water, to those big companies that clean the streets or collect the garbage, and the works the town hall does. When everything is done according to the books, according to law, the bill is paid directly, and we don't hear about that. If
Right.
there is a problem if there is a problem in that process, because the contract has not been put up to tender, but it has been chosen by finger, as we say in Spanish, a dedo,
Yeah.
or because they have broken any law, any condition, then it has to come to the monthly meeting. Why?
Right.
Because it is supposed that the government is ashamed of the mistake they have made. They apologize. They promise not to do it ever again. And then we accept that. Why does it come to the Pleno? Because as we explained the previous occasions, we have someone in the town hall called an interventor. It is a kind of a general auditor.
Mm.
And this person is the one that put a reparo. He marked that as a fault, as
Right.
mistake. And then when there is a mistake, it can either not be paid, then the supplier will have to go to court, and then he will be awarded by a court process. So it will be un pago judicial ordered by the courts. But there is an intermediate way, which is the process has not been right, but we don't want this to go to court, because in the bottom, we believe that the builder shouldn't be responsible for a mistake incurred by the people working in the town hall. So that is what we call extrajudicial. That means before going to court. So when there is a reparo, when there is a fault, the logical is that the government brings that invoice to the Pleno, and then we agree to pay it in an extrajudicial, in a non-court agreement, because the agreement is decided by all of us. So, and I will give you a sample. In Mijas village, there is an area like a small tunnel that has been deteriorating for many years, and they have now rehabilitated it. It was 5,000 euros. And someone in the town hall charged that cost to a department, and it was due to another department. That is a minor fault. So the general auditor put a reparo, marked that as a fault, but it comes to the Pleno and we say, well, the mistake is not important. We believe the job was done. Everybody wanted that to happen this way. Then let's pay for that. And that's fine. But there are many other bills. Most of the bills that have come refer to current expenses that have no contract. And most of those contracts expired in 2018 and 2019. And it is a fraud not to have things out to tender. Why? Because the same way things get more expensive sometimes, in other times they get cheaper. So when a contract finishes, the law forces the town hall to put that contract out of tender. Extending the contract is illegal. That's why those bills have to come to the town hall meeting every month.
Yeah.
So those invoices have a reparo, and they are paid through an extrajudicial out-of-court process.
Yeah, I was looking at Mijas Communications headline today, and they seem to be very proud. The town hall has paid 500,000 in bills.
Yes, they believe it is an achievement and should be ashamed, because bringing an invoice to a Pleno means that someone has made a mistake somewhere. And when you make a mistake, the least you should do is to apologize and do your best not to happen that again. And they don't do that. That is the opposite. What we get from the government is just that very bad expression, say, take it or leave it. As they have the majority, they are going to win the vote. So basically, it makes our presence useless. Yeah. Because no matter what we do, we know before starting that they are going to vote yes without any shame at all.
Yeah, yeah. So we've explained this before, Mario, but this the periodo medio de pago, the sort of average payment period.
Yes.
Well, you have 30 days for it to be presented and then 30 days for it to be paid. Is that right?
Correct.
And we are running at the moment at?
It is like the price of the electricity. We have now breached the barrier of 100 days. We are now 107 days, like the price of the megawatt per hour.
Yeah.
107 days. And let me tell you something. As you well said, there are 30 days to approve the bill and another 30 days to pay for it. Mijas has more than 100 million euros in the bank. And the truth is that once the invoices have been approved, they are paid the day after. So there is no delay in the payment as such. The delay is in the authorization process. And those 30 previous days do not count.
No, the first 30 days don't count.
So in fact, they are not taking 107 days. They are needing 137 days. So it is 107 days above the 30 days that the law authorized to handle a bill. And this is something that we cannot understand.
I mean, to be quite honest, and I'm not being party political here, Mario, I'm just looking at this objectively. I don't know how keen I would be to give services to the council if I was going to have to wait 4 months to get paid.
That is the problem. We are getting less and less offers whenever we do our work, and people are overcharging the interest in advance. So
Right.
imagine they are selling something that costs 100 euros. As they know that they will get the money 3, 4, 5 months after, they may sell it for 110 or 120. Because don't forget, we are talking about average.
Yeah.
So some bills are paid immediately. This means that some other may take 1 year. Most
Right.
of the bills that have arrived this morning to this monthly meeting were dated 2020.
20.
And some of them not from December, but from January. We
Right.
are now in September 2021.
Mario, we've just had a question. This is going back to the urbanizations thing from Daniela, whom we know is very involved in the urbanizations in Calahonda. So she said, so literally in the urbanizations, we all pay our taxes, but the money is spent outside the urbanizations, and the mayor thinks that's normal.
Correct, that is the impression that more and more people are having. Don't forget that this model of urbanization started 50 or 60 years ago when the cost of gardening and cleaning was cheap and urbanizations were owned by wealthy foreigners who came to Spain to retire, and they didn't care to pay a little bit more, perhaps in exchange of privacy. But that has completely changed. We have now a lot of people, Spanish or foreigners, it is the same, people who have to work every day, who have to put petrol in their cars, pay the electric bills, go to school, go to work, and they don't understand why they pay more and they receive less. Not all the money is spent everywhere. I mean, the town hall spends a lot of money in the police, which in theory is also paying attention to the urbanizations. The town hall is also spending money in the collection of garbage, which goes to all the urbanizations, but mainly the cleaning. And I mentioned before this contract of 100 million euros for 10 years, because we believe that is the moment to include the cleaning of all the streets in Mijas.
Right.
Because the town hall in several court cases have defended that all the streets that appear in the master plan called PGOU are public. So if they are public and have to be opened, they must be paid with public money. If a street is closed because it is private, then it should be paid by those who have the pleasure to enjoy that only for themselves. But there are no private urbanizations in Mijas. This is the mistake that we blame to the mayor. He always adds the word privadas, and there is no urbanization privada in Mijas. They all are public.
But there are urbanizations that are gated. But really, we're talking about the access roads, the trunk roads. I mean, all of these roads are public roads, for example, and
Yes.
a lot of the problems that I've seen with my own eyes, and I've talked to residents about, is who's responsible for the getting rid of the weeds on the roads, for repairing the roads, for keeping the pavements accessible. In some parts up the top of Riviera, there's a piece of land. There's an old, it's closed down. It was some kind of holiday complex up just beyond the Lady in the Bath, and I've been up there, and the weeds from that plot are completely invading the pavement. So people have to compete with the traffic if they want to walk down that road. And
Correct.
it's things like this, like, well, who is responsible for this?
As I said before, if it is a public road, it has to be taken care with public money by the public authority, and that is only the town hall.
Yeah.
But that is not only happening in Riviera del Sol.
No.
If you go down to an area very close to where they are now building these big white houses after destroying a lot of pine trees between Chaparral and Las Farolas, there is an area there, a new urbanizations that was done perhaps 15 years ago. There are trees growing out of the manholes, trees, not only weeds. They have now become trees, and they are destroying everything around it. And at the end, someone will have to repair that. And I'm afraid that will be with our money, not the money of the politicians responsible for that. the money of everybody paying taxes in Mijas.
Right. Mario, I want to move us on to a topic that I think is of a lot of interest to people, a lot of people who are going to be listening to this, and that is the racetrack, the Hipodromo. Now, Mario, I I know this is one of these things that it makes your blood boil, doesn't it? But to try to keep the whole thing reasonably simple, you know, there have been so many people think they know what happened to the racetrack and why it closed down. Could you sort of very briefly explain, first of all, why did everything stop at the Hipodromo?
Well, the race courses stopped in the whole of Spain because the company that was organizing race courses, not only in Mijas, also in Seville, in Madrid, and in the north of Spain, went into bankruptcy.
Right.
So that is the reason why the races stopped. The
Okay.
races. When that happened in 2013, we changed into jumping contests. The
Okay.
jumping of horses is an activity very common in Spain, and we got a company that invested 2 million euros of their own money into building this jumping part
The
inside.
arena, yeah.
That's right, the arena, eh, and they spent 2 million euros because, just in case you don't know it, there is a water tank below the sand, and depending on the dampness of the sand, the pumps start to pump the water up because it needs to be as exactly with a percentage of water so the
Oh,
horses can jump properly. It is
right,
not 2 million euros wasted. It is a real proper professional installation.
right.
But the town hall, to be honest, was not helping at all. The town hall decided to cancel the second-hand market on the Sundays
Yeah,
that was giving 1,000 euros every week to the town hall,
right.
100 people, 10 euros each of them. The town hall canceled the control access that was run by these basic income program people.
Okay.
And the town hall decided to send these people that were organizing the jumping contest out of the race course.
Hmm.
So it was very obvious that if you have a place without a gate and with no people there, someone is going to enter and take whatever they need away.
Yeah.
And you cannot call them thieves because they don't need to break anything. You just you can call them people walking. And a lot of people walked inside and took for them whatever they wished. And some others simply smash all the glasses in the hippodrome. Let me
Yeah.
explain something. What we call hippodromo can be split in two parts. The main part, 300,000 square meters, and there is another part of 50,000. The 50,000 includes all the offices behind and also the quadras where all the horses were,
The stables, yeah.
the stables, and the other 300,000 is what we call the ring.
Okay.
The town hall in 1998 registered the ownership of that ring, not in its own name, but in the name of a company called Recursos Turísticos de Mijas, Mijas Touristic Resources, and that company was owned by the town hall.
Right.
But it is not that the town hall owned the plot directly. The town hall was the owner of a company, and the company was the owner of that part. There is a legal process on that. Fine. But the other 50,000 square meters where all the offices are, there is no doubt about it. They have always belonged to the town hall. The town
Right.
hall has a department to protect all the town hall properties.
Hmm.
So why have they abandoned so many offices and so many shops there? We
Right.
believe that the cost of this vandalism is between 3 and 4 million euros.
Whoa.
Someone has allowed this to happen.
Sure.
Someone keeps allowing this to happen every single day. And we have reminded this in many monthly meetings in the town hall. And they don't care. And I believe the government of Mijas is responsible of the damage done to an installation that is owned by the town hall. And I don't want to talk about the ring, which is another and long discussion, but about the other plot of 50,000 square meters where all the offices and all the equipments were, all that has been vandalized.
Right.
Why? The basic income program has every day about 300 people on the payroll. Don't you think we should put a couple of them continuously 24 hours a day, not the same people obviously, at the entrance of the race course? We have several hundred people. Why don't we put them there simply to stop this vandalism?
Right.
I believe this is a serious offense, a serious damage to Mijas assets, and someone has to be responsible for that.
Right.
And I won't forget.
No. So what is the legal status of when I say the Hipodromo, let's talk about the whole area that people think of as the Hipodromo. What is the legal status of it all now, Mario? Has this 300,000 square meters that was for recursos turísticos de Mijas, has that now been passed to the ownership of the council, or?
Well, the decision this morning has been, all this started because the government, not the Popular Party, those who came after in June 2015, refused to pay 6,000 euros to a person. That person got very annoyed and went to court to declare the bankruptcy of the racecourse.
Right.
Imagine something that's worth 30 million euros. How can it go into bankruptcy only for 6,000 euros?
Right.
But the government of the town hall at that time were so furious against this person that they refused to pay those 6,000. So this person is entitled to go to courts and say, I want my 6,000, and if they don't want to pay me, I request the property goes to auction so I can get the 6,000 euros.
Right.
And that was almost going to happen. So the mayor signed a contract in May this year, which we have only known recently, offering 250,000 euros to someone in the legal administrator of the company. So in order not to pay 6,000 euros, at the end, we, and I say we because the money comes from all of our pockets, are going to pay 250,000 euros to get the ownership of the race course. Sorry, not the ownership, to get the management of that back into the town hall hands. But in the meantime, we have wasted 7 years and possibly between 3 and 4 million euros. But as I said, this is one part of the race course. The other 50,000 square meters are and have always been owned by the town hall. So that area has no restriction. We can do there whatever we want to. And we have abandoned that area in a way in which now we don't only have squatters, people, we also have horses as squatters, because some people have taken there their own horses and are keeping them there. And they are taking care of our stables. So it is not them, it is them and their horses. And that area is owned by the town hall and they don't care.
Right.
And it doesn't matter how many times I try to explain this, not only in the monthly public meetings, but also in private meetings, and they don't care. And they don't care.
But I mean, this whole area of land, Mario, it's a substantial area of land, and the potential that has
is enormous.
Enormous, isn't it?
Yes.
And I know that there are a lot of companies. Well, I don't know a lot. I certainly know of a few companies who are very interested in developing in various ways this whole area into a kind of resource that would potentially be international, would actually bring in sports facilities for local people in Mijas that they could use. It could bring events there, possibly. It could make it a real center again, couldn't it? But at the
Yes, well,
moment,
it doesn't need to be again. I know I was there when Elton John came to play it.
yes,
Elton John, we are not talking about a poor band that plays on a Sunday evening in a bar. Elton
right,
John was playing in the race course of Mijas.
sure,
So
sure,
nobody understands. Well, there are legal problems because the town hall in the early 90s decided to requalify some plots around the race course. And
right.
instead of building townhouses, they can now build 5 floors buildings.
Oh,
And that is still under a legal process.
right,
That's why the race course as such never got an official opening license. But even without an official opening license, Elton John was playing there.
right.
And without that license, the hotel inside was full of Chinese people that were learning Spanish and playing football in our
Yeah,
installations.
yeah,
So nobody understands why they have abandoned the race course.
right,
And I have to insist, there is an area which is subject to a court case that could have been solved many years ago,
right.
created simply because they didn't want to pay 6,000 and at the end we are paying 250. But the other 50,000 square meters where are all the offices and the uh, echinotherapia,
The
we treat
equine therapy. Yeah,
disabled people riding horses, all that is in the hands of the town hall. So
right.
why is not anyone there controlling the access to the race course?
Mm.
Why have they abandoned the race course? And let me tell you just one last thing. You know the Theo very well because you were working there.
We worked there for
When
5 years.
the
Yeah,
Theo closed, this center of industries dedicated to golf
the
and to restaurants,
yeah, the leisure industry really, the leisure
that's
and
right, in
hotel.
general. There, the town hall had only 20%. The
Mm,
rest was owned by the junta. However, the town hall decided to put there a couple of policemen with a car 24 hours a day. And
right,
we had only 20%. In the race course, the discussion is whether we have 95% or 100.
right,
And we have abandoned that. And we
right.
own between 95% and 100. Now we own 100 because the owner of that 5%, that was a bank, is so fed up with the situation that the bank has given the town hall their shares for free
Right,
because they don't want to be responsible of whatever is happening here. So they have given their 5% to the town hall and said, here you are. Don't mess me in this hassle.
they just want rid of it. Yeah,
So now we are the owner of 100% and nobody understands why nothing is happening.
right. Mario, thank you very much. I know the whole race course thing is very close to your heart.
Yes,
And
because I still remember when we made that a real success, and more than 7 people were coming every night when we have races there. And there
yeah,
were plenty of bars and people betting and drinking and dancing and being happy and
mhm.
taking the name of Mijas to everywhere in Europe.
Just for a moment there, Mario, you were talking about Elton John, and when you started with "I remember when," and I was expecting you to start singing "Rock Was Young."
No, I don't want to spoil the audience.
Mario, thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome,
And
mate.
we'll see you at the end of next month after the October. Well, I'll see you before that, but you'll join us again at the end of next month after the October council meeting. And
Mhm.
let's see what goodies you'll have for us then. Thank you very much. Thank you for those of
All
us who
right.
have joined us live. We will be back next week. And I need to get
With
this right. You see, I use a big calendar, you know. Next week, the 7th of October, Anna Nandez will be joining us with a lawyer, and we'll be talking about more Brexity things and um, other important things for those of us who are living over here. Mario, thank you.
You're
Have a very
welcome.
good weekend when it comes, and I'll see you soon.
Goodbye, Bill.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. Bye-bye just now.